What's up and welcome everyone to how to ace your evaluation with this structure. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple structure that I use whether it is in a contest setting or a general evaluation setting in your own home club, and how to make sure that when you evaluate, you appear to listen attentively as well as to help the speaker to elevate in their speeches. Now if you're new to the channel, why not drop a like, share and subscribe so more people will benefit from this video. With that, let's get straight into it. Now we've seen before that the typical evaluation structure would be the sandwich method, right? Which is what's good, what can be better, and what's good again. Or the commendation, recommendation, and commendation again. Now this is a good technique to use, but when we are giving feedback, especially in a toastmasters setting, we have to tweak the evaluation a little bit to ensure that our listeners, our audience, they learn, they grow, and they remember. That's the most important. So what is this structure? This structure is what I call the MARS structure. Mars. Very simple. Either Mars bars, you remember Mars. Remember a singer? Bruno Mars. Anything to do with Mars, the planet Mars, you will remember this structure. So what does Mars stand for? Simple. M stands for your message. Number 2 is the A, which is what's amazing about this speaker. R, what are the points of recommendations? And S, summary and summarize. Why you have to summarize at the end? Well, according to the judging ballot of the evaluation contest, you gotta summarize. So if you don't summarize, guess what? 15 marks off. But of course, if you are not contesting, it is still good to summarize so that the people, the audience, can remember the points better. Now let's take a deeper dive into the MARS. Starting with the M, the message, right? You want to reiterate the message to the audience. So how do you do this? As you're listening to the speech, by now you would already know what the message is about. So what are some key phrases, key lines that the speaker had already said? List this down here and then share it back to the audience. For example, like this. You know, when I was listening to Dave's presentation just now, his message stuck with me, and that is to be grateful. Wouldn't you agree that we all need to be grateful? Yeah, and starting today, I believe with his message, we will remember to be grateful. Done. So you share the message, you make sure everyone is on the same common ground of what the speech is about. A stands for amazing, and amazing, you need to share 3 points that were amazing. So think of it this way, what's good about a speaker, right? And in this particular point, when you share the 3 points that are amazing, make sure you follow the what, the how, and finally the why in this format. What, how, why. Let me demonstrate. So Dave has completed his speech and he's getting an evaluation, and one of his points is he's very expressive. So I'm going to say it like this. Dave, you excelled in being expressive as a speaker, especially when you said the part when you said this is really hard, and you shown us that frustration, that pain, that really helped to elevate the speech and make us feel your frustration and your pain. So you see that? I shared the what, which is the expression. I shared the how, which is when did he actually demonstrate this? And finally the why, this is important. So when you do this, not only will you tell the audience and the judges that you are listening attentively, but you are also helping the audience to see, oh, that was the part that I did well? That's great, that's good to know. And it's very hyper specific. So what, how, and why. And share with us 3 amazing points. What's the R? R is for recommendation, and you will share with us 2 points of recommendation. Now, when you share a recommendation, my recommendation is to ensure that you follow the what, why, how. Now I know it gets a bit tricky. Amazing is what, how, why. The recommendation is what, why, how. Now the reason for this is because you need to tell us what it is, why it's important to utilize the points that you've shared, and finally how can you demonstrate this so that the audience know exactly how it looks and the speaker knows exactly what they need to improve on. So let's go back to Dave. So let's say Dave is not using the stage really well. So you could say something like this. Dave, my points of improvement will be something like this. It's very simple, just to tweak a bit, and that is the staging. Now, why it's important to stage properly is because if we stage accurately, it helps the audience to see, maybe in a form of a timeline, something that goes in a linear motion, or in fact, it helps us to see the locations on the stage, especially when you shared when you were in London, when you were in Saudi Arabia. So when you walk accordingly, it would be better. So here's an example. When you said London, I'd like you to try walking to the right hand side. And then when you said Saudi Arabia, now let's walk to the left hand side. So when you do this, it's easier for us to picture where you are at in the current speech. So that's your R, very simple, and share with us 2. Remember, two recommendations. Last but not least, S, which is summarize. So summarize your 3 A's and summarize your 2 R's. Make sure that it's easy for us to understand. You don't have to go into the details here. Just share with us the simple things. For example, the 3 points you excel in, or the 3 points that made you amazing were this, this, and this. And 2 points of recommendation is this and this. And at the end, just wrap up with a nice encouraging line to help the speaker feel good about themselves, right? For example, things like, your speech really inspired me, and I hope that with this recommendation, my humble recommendation, you'll be able to take this speech and bring it to the next level so more people can be inspired. There you go, MARS. Share with us the message. What are the 3 amazing points, and make sure it is a what, how, why, and then 2 recommendations, what, why, how, and finally summarize your points. Now, if you want to know how to use other powerful evaluation tips to improve your evaluation, then you might want to stick around and watch this video.